3, 2, 1.
Check it out.
Okay. So on our first page, we have next page. Okay. Our cup and handle. It's a bullish pattern. It usually signals that a trend is going to continue, trend continuation, or that a breakout is about to go down. Cup and handle resembles a cup and a handle, hence its name. It's almost, as almost all patterns, it has to, it can also be played inverse. So if you look over to the right, have a small definition. Cup and handle, a technical indicator which the pattern, when viewed on a chart, resembles a cup and handle, which is generally interpreted as a bullish signal by traders. So we put that there because there's something called Investopedia, and Investopedia is freaking awesome. You can go to it and type in any kind of questions, and they have great breakdowns of different things. You can also come to chat and ask us, but Investopedia is the bomb freaking.com. It's great to utilize. Next page.
Yeah, I got some DMs, so
Oh,
I wonder about why. What?
what happened? Does everybody know where to type? So if you feel comfortable talking, you can talk. If you don't feel comfortable talking, there is a section where you can type, and just the people here in the voice chat can see it. So I will post that in regular chat for y'all to see. I don't know if y'all know where that is. Okay, if you look at Members Lounge, it'll show you where to go where you can type. And just the people who are in voice chat will see. Good? Okay, so if we look on the next page, we have a cup and handle. And I know it's not perfect like the other pictures showed, but in real life, it's rarely going to be as good as those examples show online. So you kind of have to learn how to read it and learn what are the important parts of it. It may not look exactly like a cup and handle. It may be some crazy stuff that you got to kind of decipher and make sure that those important parts of it match up. Like you see an uptrend, then your price flattens and, or as in this case, falls quite quick. The left side of the cup forms, bottom of the cup forms, bears can't push it lower, uptrend initiating, right side of the cup forms. Price is back to previous high levels, no immediate breakout, your handle is formed, and then you see your breakout. So that's like super, super important. When y'all look at examples online or Investopedia or things like that, it's when you're in real life and you're watching those charts, it's not always gonna look perfect like that. It can look a little crazy like this. But if you got the general thing going and you make sure that those important things about those formations are matching up, then hey, you may be good to go. And that's another thing I want to add for our newer members. Nothing in technical analysis is 100% ever. I worked for a bank, and when I started doing this, I'm very black and white. There's no gray. I'm like, okay, I want to know if this does this, what will happen? If this happens, what's going to happen? Like, I didn't want no well. I wanted black and white. This is not black and white. But if you arm yourself with the knowledge, then you will be more prepared and more likely to get these things correct and to be more successful in the stock market. So that's why we learn them. It's going to help you to be more successful. Is anything 100%? If it does this, and this, is it for sure going to do this? Hell no. But do you have a more likelihood of it doing it if you spot these patterns? Yes. Do you have more likelihood of being correct if you learn this indicator or use that indicator? Yes. And that's another thing too, since we have so many new people. As we read throughout the book, you're going to learn the candlesticks, you're going to learn the patterns, you're going to learn Bollinger Bands, RSI. I mean, there's going to be so many things that you learn. Very rarely do traders use more than 2, maybe 3 indicators at once. It's like super rare. They don't use all of them. It's whatever helps the information intake in your brain the best. What helps you to absorb that information to be able to read and see what the chart is going to do. And everyone's brain is different and everyone's going to like different indicators. Cron loves RSI. I fucking hate RSI. It's whatever's your brain is going to help intake that information to read that chart properly. So everyone's going to be different. But I suggest that you learn everything, because how do you know what's going to work best for you if you don't learn it first, right? Learn all the different indicators, all the different things, and then be like, okay, this one, I like this one. This helps me see what the fuck's going on. This one, okay, yep, I like this one. Pick and choose which ones will work best. And then other ones can just always be in the future. Say you use 2 or 3 and you're like, I think this is going to happen. Let me go ahead and check some other indicators real quick just to see. It'll help giving, some extra confirmation. So don't be afraid, like, holy shit, I have to memorize every little thing. And oh my fucking God, you don't. You're going to learn this stuff and you're going to learn what helps you to read and your brain to decipher this information the best. Okay. Next one. So in summary, you have your trend upwards, then you have your pullback, you have your new uptrend, your little consolidation, and then new uptrend above previous high for your cup and handle. And Han, don't you take over here?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And as Queen said, I mean, it's up to each and every one what patterns and stuff you use. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not good at the triangles and wedges, and I have quite a hard time spotting cup and handles too, even though they are quite easy to spot on the chart. But we are going to continue with the ascending triangle. Do you say ascending or ascending?
Ascending.
Ascending. Thank you.
Yeah.
I learn something every day in this group. So the ascending triangle is also a bullish trend continuation, kind of like the cup and handle. It indicates that buyers are still in control, and that's mainly because the price manages to return to the same high. As you can see there on the small picture, we have some attacks to the downside by the bulls, but it keeps pushing up. And also, if you look at the lows there, we have higher lows all the time. So we can see that the bears are getting less and less in control, and the bulls really want to push this upward, while the bears are kind of not retreating, but they are getting weaker. And this pattern can also be ascending, or it can be descending too. So all you have to do is really turn your screen around and take the class again if you want the opposite patterns. But we will get to them too in classes to come. So let's look at it here. Here we have Pacific Gas on the 1-day chart. This was spotted by a guy in another group, so I can't take credit for this one. And we see that the support level down there keeps rising. If you follow the chart from the bottom line, we see that the bulls had their chance back. I don't know if you see my pointer, but they didn't break here. So the support level keeps rising. We got higher lows. Clearly, we have talked about trends in previous classes. We clearly see an upward trend. This is on the daily chart too. So, I mean, bulls are doing good money for a lot of days there in August, September. And then we are back to previous levels. And this is really what's important to watch for. I mean, we could have drawn a line further up too, maybe up here too, but we keep it quite conservative. But we see that we are back on the previous levels. And then the bears who tried to push this down, who had this downtrend for a while, made some money, but then they more or less give up because the price is back and now the bulls are in control again. Max, do you still keep looking the chat if we have any questions? I have a hard time
Yeah, we're good.
switching.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm good.
That's great.
Yeah. The question was, who has a better voice, me or you?
Sorry?
Who has a sexier voice, me or you?
Oh, thank you.
Hello.
No. That's a good one too.
I vote Kron with his sexy swinglish, as he says.
Yeah, it's Swinglish at least for sure. But I'm getting better every Sunday. And then we have the wedges. And they are quite similar. So this is a tricky one. And this is why probably why I don't use these patterns a lot is because I sucked at this in school. It downgraded my mathematics scores horribly. So you take what you are good with, and this is not my strong suit. But unlike the triangles, they usually signal a trend change instead of a continuation. So here we could have been in a big like downtrend, and the wedge will signal that the downtrend is coming to an end. And same rule apply. This goes for like every pattern or every candle. There is always the opposite side. It can be falling or declining instead of rising. But on my picture there, you see a rising wedge pattern. And I mean, some of the more professional people in here are going to be like, oh, they need to talk more about volume, for example, when they talk about the patterns. But we are trying to do one step at a time. And what's important is we had this discussion in chat a couple of days ago that a pattern, I mean, if it don't play out, it's of no use. So just as soon as you spot a pattern, don't rush in and go like bet your house on it, because they don't always, like Queen says, play out. And if you, for example, Google failed cup and handle, you will see disastrous examples of when a cup and handle doesn't play out. But sorry, I got a bit carried away there. But the classical wedge will show slower and slower waves. We have talked about them before, the waves when the price like goes down a bit and then boom, upwards, down a bit and continues upward, for example. That is a wave. But here the volume slows down and the party is about to end, more or less, if it's a bull party, for example, in a rising wedge. And we will see a breakout to the opposite side. And that is the signal that the trend has changed. And it's quite common with pretty huge reaction candles. That's also a signal that, okay, something is about to happen here. And focus on the angles, because the wedges and the triangles are pretty similar. But for example, this is a descending triangle to make things a bit harder. You see how they keep testing the support level over and over and over again. And no lower lows are forming. While in the falling wedge, we see these small lower lows forming, like bears have had more or less enough. But let's look at it at the chart. That's much more fun. And here, this is a kind of a classical wedge. It's I took the examples from the books. We are going to look at a really good example too that Dripgad gave us. We are very thankful for that. But we start with ones from the books because they are quite easy to follow. And here we can see that we have higher lows, but the higher highs are not very significant. You see the bulls have some problem here pushing the price up. they don't look too interested in this chart. It's the US dollar something. And the X there, you see the red X kind of marks the spot for when the trend change is going to happen because it breaks down. And the area up there is getting more and more narrow. And we see this a lot on SPY, for example, that we have seen it a couple of mornings now, that we have this big push and then we see that the bulls are starting to get a bit tired. They are still kind of insecure. J-Pow was kind of hawkish, and so we usually see that the trend stops and then bam, it goes down. So this can probably be applied a lot of times to SPY at the moment. Here we see a wedge at the end of a downward trend. We see how the lows are flattened out. And you see this big reaction candle. We have seen quite a lot of those too lately, like really crazy reaction candles. And this one is quite big. The bears are trying to push it down, but here the buyers step in and maybe a lot of bears are like, okay, I made my money, I'm out. And then we see the breakout point to the upside instead. So the downward trend is done, and now it's the bulls' turn to have a party. They really have it here.
And let me just touch base real quick because
Yep.
a member asked earlier, what does it mean when they say confirmation? Because they listen to a lot of videos and whatnot. So this, is a good example, all these pages. So where you see the red X, right? It breaks the previous, there's, higher lows, lower highs, et cetera, et cetera. It breaks above the previous lower high, right? And so that's where it shows, okay, this could be where the wedge formation turned out, where it broke upwards. Now, a lot of people see how that candle closed on that line. So some people may wait for like 2 or 3 candles to close above that area. And that's a confirmation. Some do 1 candle, some do 2, some do 3. It's as you get more experienced in the way you're able to read the chart and whatnot, you'll see. But that's a confirmation. Whenever you're looking at these different flags or wedges or whatever in that area of interest, does it break it, close above it? And that's like your confirmation.
Yeah. And
again, I'm not saying confirmation is 100% because it could shoot up and then completely go the opposite way. You don't know. But arming yourself with this knowledge is going to help you to, be more successful and read the chart better.
Yep.
You're still going to lose some, but you want to win more than you lose and minimize your losses.
Yeah, and if we take this chart as an example, I mean, it's easy to rush in because here we had the downtrend and we see this huge candle to the downside. I mean, this trapped a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people probably got trapped here, and they ain't gonna get their money back for, well, at least quite a couple of days here, as we can see. I don't know what happens next, but so wait for the candles to play out and wait for confirmation. And we have seen that with SPY a lot, like I said, that it pushes mainly to the upside at opening the last couple of days. So a lot of bulls get trapped at the moment. So be a bit careful. Okay, we continue with the wedges. This is a continuation wedge. Here we have a stock that has dropped and then it has some correction. We have talked about correction earlier on classes. So you see the chart is just jumping a bit up and down. This is also usually what's called a flag when you have like the pole and then it jumps around for a while. But we see that the highs don't really rise there. The buyers ain't interested to switch the trend here. And then we see how the wedge broke to the downside instead, and the selling really continues here. he uses quite radical charts in the books, but that's good. So we can see how the downtrend continues. So that's another reason to watch out with a wedge, because there is never any guarantee that a pattern will play out, and that's why you don't jump in too quick. Once again, we have the X here, where we can see that the highs are not rising. We see how the low is getting broken here, and bam, it goes down quite a lot.
Yep, and we'll cover that later, but if you look, this does kind of create a bear flag. You got your pull on the top, you got your consolidation area, and then your next pull, which we'll cover that later, but
yeah, we have a lot to cover. So I'm gonna show the picture. I don't know. Oh, you can see it. I'm just gonna make it full window. Here. This is the example we got from drip, and it's a very good example. If you look here, it's light crude oil futures on the weekly, how we can see this wedge that is playing out. And I mean, that's the thing. You if you have trading view or whatever you use, I mean, there are instruments you can draw your lines, you can experiment, see if you spot a pattern. If you spot a pattern and are not sure or want to talk about it, we are always open for discussion in the trading room. I mean, that's our main area to discuss charts and stuff. The other day we discussed a head and shoulder on SPY, I think it was, and then we saw it starting to play out. So, I mean, there are no stupid charts, so to speak. Feel free to just post your charts, post your charting, and we can look at it together. We have a lot of really good people in the chat, and more seem to be coming in every day. So that's really, really great that we have a community of everything from totally new people to the market who is still trying to figure out what an option is, to people who are doing this professionally. But I think this is a picture perfect example, so I'm very thankful that we could include this one.
okay. Damn, we're doing good on time too. It's because I stayed within my limit. I'm so proud of myself. Max mods me to make sure I don't jabber too much. Before we get to the quiz, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, maybe you, Drip, want to add something since I stole your chart here.
Oh yeah, Drip, you want to add something to your chart?
Well, I didn't think I was gonna speak too much, but yeah, the one thing I would say about this chart is it's on the weekly, so this is gonna take a long time to play out. It's likely not gonna do much, but consolidate tighter into that apex, on into January, February. But watch XLE. If we do get a breakout with volume, because as you can see from that high up there, you do have the decline in volume. And when you get the volume back on a breakout to the upside, what that's going to do is put pressure on S&P names. And so, you can play S&P to the downside, or you can play XLE names to the upside. So that would be how to bring this setup into a trade.
Just one thing I wanted to ask, if you didn't mind, is that looking, one of the notes I've put here was what are good time frames for me to be looking at to use these patterns and wedges in. I know it's covering the weekly at the moment, but is there a smaller time frame for somebody who's newer that you would suggest, or which would be an optimum time frame to be looking at to start to identify the patterns?
any time frame. You can utilize any time frame. If you're looking at the monthly or the weekly or the 15-minute, it may take more time to play out, versus if you're looking at, say the 5-minute or the 3-minute, etc., like that. But you can be looking for these formations on any time frame.
Yeah. And I this is just my personal opinion, but I see them playing out much stronger on the higher time frames, like the daily or the weekly. But like Grip said, it's gonna take time, because I have also seen people rush in because they see a cup and handle forming on the daily, and they like jump straight in, and it may take a while to play out, and their options expire, for example.
Correlation is not causation. What I'm gathering, yes. Paying attention is the most common. Danglewood, did you want to add anything before we move on to the quiz? That's another thing for our newer people. So Danglewood, I know y'all familiar with the old Options fan bot, and then OpenBB bot was created. They bought out Options fan bot, and they have a platform that you can utilize to kind of stuff. He actually got in OpenBB when it was a startup company. He is the man. So if you have any questions with the bot or anything like this man is like a super genius, and we are very grateful to have him in chat with us. Is there anything you want to add, Dinglewood?
No, I was just gonna say, the daily and then the hourly are probably the most common. I wouldn't get too caught up looking at 1-minute charts and trying to read tea leaves that happen instantly, because if you're trying to catch those moves live, it's already too late by the time it's hit the tape.
Okay. So are we ready for the quiz? Let's see here. So we had some.
You're lagging a bit.
Oh, I say, are we ready for the quiz?
Yeah.
And we had some things, some of our members are comfortable speaking, some aren't. And so we just kind of wanted to make it fair across the board. But also, some members, if we put like pictures of charts, they got to click on it and look at it, better than others may have to, and that will take longer. So we're trying to make these quizzes as fair as possible. So we're not going to have we were going to have some charts to throw in here and y'all look at and tell us, what you were seeing forming, but we'll save those for chat to like randomly throw out questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the question, and then I will drop it in chat and in the typing area. So make sure everybody knows where to go for the typing area. That's where you're going to answer the question. Okay. So it's going to be all reading. There's not going to be something that you like have to look at to see the answer. All right. Now, I hope that you all paid attention to the pages. If you notice, there was even some little flags there, or notated, maybe help you cheat a little bit. But if you did the homework, you should be ready to go, because these questions basically verbatim come from those pages. Okay. All right. Are we ready? So our first question, y'all listen now, okay? Cup and handle is often followed by a what? Upward trend. Rookie got it. Bam. Go, baby. Okay. Upward trend was the answer. All right. Number 2. The handle indicates a brief what? Nope. The handle indicates a brief. Consolidation. We'll go with that. Correction. Yep. Correction phase, consolidation phase, both are the same. So Drip got it. Rookie got it?
got it first. Rookie
What
said
did
correction.
she did. I missed that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Go, there we go. Damn, Rookie. All right. And number 3. Y'all ready? Get those typing fingers ready. The final signal of the cup and handle. Listen. The final signal of the cup and handle is given when the price breaks the handle to the what? Upside. Drip God got it. Yep. Perfect. All right, next one. All right, y'all ready? On an ascending triangle, the breakout point, or when the price closes outside the blank, is known as a good entry.
Did you
Yep,
get
Frederick got it. Triangle. That is correct. Okay. Next
Did you
one.
skip a question or was I too slow there?
Did I skip a question? 3, 5. I skipped 4. Okay,
Yep.
let me do 4. But damn it, I'm deleting this for proof. I don't know, I always do this. Okay. That's okay. We're still, doing the questions, right? All right. Frederick got that one. All right. Wait. 4.
4.
5. Okay, yes. Okay, we're good. So, one of the most two important things about an ascending triangle is when the lows show a trend blank. Upward. Drip got it. Yep. Upward. All right. On to number 6.
6. Yep.
Okay. Y'all ready? Okay. In a wedge, we can often notice blank candles. Rejection. Computer guy got it. Yep. All right. The next one. Rejection. Yep. Rejection. Number 7. Okay. Is an ascending triangle bullish or bearish? Bullish. Frederick got it. Yep. It's bullish. Cheater pumpkin. Sal's wrong. Mad. He won last time. All right. We do have some time. So, Kron, you want to go ahead and throw in those charts?
I would like to take the time to speak a bit more about the open alert, if that's okay. And we can.
Okay, cool. What's the a 3-way tie? Holy shit. Okay. Wow. A 3-way tie. Threesome. Sal.
Oh my god.
You know what? We'll just give 3 medals and 3 certificates. Hey, everybody did good. 3-way tie. So who was the 3-way tie between? Drip, Rookie, and Frederick. Okay, perfect. But all of y'all did good. I saw those answers flying left and right, and so many of y'all got them right. It's just who got it typed out quicker. But I love that I'm seeing like the correct answer just come out 1, 1, 1, 1, bam, bam, bam. That shows that everybody's learning and getting it. And I'm like, so you don't even understand. It makes me want to cry. Like I feel so freaking happy. This is all about y'all and for y'all. And so to see y'all get into it and see that y'all are answering the correct, answers, like it's fucking exciting as hell. I'm happy. I'm so happy. So if you want to talk then, Kron.
Yeah. 'Cause
Channel?
this is like we mentioned in the beginning. It's quite a radical step for the group, but we want to have a totally open alert channel. It's gonna be called something like members alerts or whatever, and that means everyone can use our alert bot. You just have to put in the command that is /alert. So it's quite simple, and then it comes up some question, what ticker, what not. We can have like a tryout day. I don't know exactly when we are going to launch this, and it's going to be on trial. But it's very important, if this is going to work out, that we don't have any like trolling alerts, like alerting Nile, for example, Nile calls. You understand?
Yes,
If
please
you
no
look
trolling
at the
alerts.
Nile, if you look at the Nile chart, you will know what I'm talking about.
Basically, for our for for our jokesters, no joking with the bot.
Yeah, and the main thing about it may not be that everyone should jump on these alerts for starters, but partially it's because I know we have people that like wanna step out of the shadows, so to speak. They have been in paid chats, they have been in our chat, or and they feel like, damn, I think I could do alerting, but they are a bit. I mean, it's still a big responsibility. We discussed it the other night, and a former, I don't know, he may be alerting in some other group now, talked about how hard it is to alert, that you want to keep the members happy. They want alerts. You may rush in trades that you wouldn't take normally, but this gives everyone an opportunity, if they really see something on the chart that they think they should share. Everyone is free to use the bot. And as Frederick is saying, an alert is never a guarantee to win. And I mean, we don't want anyone really to be a sheep, so to speak. It's totally fine to do alerts, but think about it yourself. Why am I jumping in this alert? Sometimes it can be just because you trust that trader so much. I mean, we have some alerters with great results. A lot of people have made money on our alerters, but yeah, I totally agree with what Frederick is saying in the chat right now, that it's an inspiration and it's really no use in the long run, in my opinion. This is my humble opinion, if you don't learn from it. Like say Angel does a Disney alert, and we bank on it, and nobody stops to think, oh, why did he do that alert? What made it go up? Why did they have that strike price, for example? So in the long run, I think that alerts are good, but learning is, I mean, knowledge is power, as I say every Sunday. And so far, I've never met anyone that became like economically independent by doing other people's alerts. Because if it was that easy, I mean, everybody would follow some. I mean, there are thousands of alerters on Twitter that say, "Oh, follow me, you're gonna get 1 million in a year." But it's rarely that easy. But the point with this is, if we see someone, for example, or if someone themselves feel that, oh, damn, my alerts are doing really fine, we will of course give you an alert channel. And it can be a way too for members to share, because we know a lot of information goes missing in the chat when it's a lot of like the members lounge. We are going to keep that very unmoderated, as long as no one, we have the rules. I mean, you can't insult people and stuff like that, of course, but we want this to be fun too. But the trading room, we are going to keep more strict, and the alert sections are going to be super strict, of course, because I mean, it's still money we're talking about. So
yeah, we don't want to be like some of the other boring chats and be like, you got to be like this, got to be like this, you got to blah blah blah, negative. To me, the LLs are perfect, laughing and learning. So the members lounge, some members may feel like some of our other members go a little bit too crazy in the members lounge, but hey, laughing and learning. What the fuck is the world if you're not laughing? And that's how we build bonds as well, is laughing together, learning together. That's how you build that bond. And so, yeah, members lounge, they go buck wild. But the trading ground is where, we keep it more serious.
Yeah. So I don't know. I know that our bot guy, or one of our bot guys, Broccoli Rob, he has unlocked our bot, Jesse, named after what's supposed to be the best day trader of all time. So no pressure. But don't start using it until we get the channel up. I don't know if we're gonna do it tomorrow or wait until after the seasons. We'll see. But then you can start doing alerts, and it's really simple. You just put in /alert if you want. No pressure. I mean, it's totally fine to discuss trades without making an alert too.
Yep. And I know that our alerters don't really use the bot. Angel's going to use it because he's used to it. Whereas, Tariq and 8 and Max, they're not used to it. And then Imaginary, his alerts aren't options. His alerts are, hey, eyes on this stock. It could be running. Hey, it's running. Get in. Hey, sell. It's going back down, blah, blah. So it's a little bit different on his. His are more eyes on. It's doing this, it's doing that. So it's not really bot, kind of stuff. But Angel will be using it when he comes back from doing his marine duty stuff. So yeah, y'all just feel free. And if you have any feedback for us on the class, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Holy crap, Kron, we forgot again to use the damn music. We keep forgetting.
Oh shit. Oh, we're gonna
What
get
the fuck?
Yeah.
That's the only feedback that we've gotten that we haven't implemented. Was they wanted game show music when we do the quiz, and we keep forgetting. For God's sake, can someone remind us next week?
Yeah.
We keep forgetting we have it, and we keep forgetting. But any feedback you have, if you want to just tell us, hey man, you did good, or if you want to tell us, hey, I have an idea, or if you want to be like, hey man, maybe you could have done this better. This is for y'all. We do this on our, just because we don't get anything out of it except for the pure joy of helping others. These classes are for y'all. So we want your feedback. We want to know, what can we do better? What do you want us to add? What did we fuck up on? We want to know. Definitely let us know, because it is for you. It's your classes. It's for you.
Yeah. And last thing, I just want to add, and I think we are really great at that, but just a reminder, especially if we bring in an alert bot that is free for all, that we never judge anyone's trades. We have people here that only play AMC or GME, for example. We have other members that think that is crazy, and it's totally fine to discuss about it, but we never judge anyone's trades. And the same thing goes with the alerters. We don't want anyone typing to them like, oh, thanks, I lost all my money, all my salary on your crappy alert. Because, I mean, they always talk about how important it is with stop losses, and no one has a 100% win record. So remember that.
But if I might add,
yeah,
our alert people have awesome fucking win rates.
Yeah, they do.
Tariq got, pummeled with finals, and his girlfriend got sick, really bad sick. And so, he took a break or whatever. He started having, some issues around there. So he took a break, step back. Sometimes that's okay to do. 8, but before that, he had an awesome win rate. 8 has an awesome win rate. Imaginary, paid servers are trying to get him to alert for them, and he's like, nope, fuck you. Max can read AMC chart like there's no fucking tomorrow. So I must say, we may not be a paid chat, but we got some awesome fucking alerters. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we do.
But any questions or anything for us? Fuck yeah, we stayed in time.
Wow.
We try to keep it in an hour because, studies show that people can really only maintain a good focus for about 45 minutes to an hour. Plus, we know that y'all have y'all Sunday and y'all want to spend time and whatever, and, do your errands, time with family. So we try to keep class right under an hour. There's Angel. He's here.
Yeah, and he sings good in Swedish. I was very surprised. So when he's in the music channel, you gotta jump on because we will have some Christmas singing this week.
And as a lot of the ones that have been here, the ones coming from the other server, y'all know Angel fucking rocks it out.
Yeah.
So any questions before we go? I need help with pronunciation.
No, you don't.
That was
It was
hilarious.
like 95% perfect.
95%.
Yeah. I'm not gonna comment on the singing itself, though.
Hey, when I heard him sing, it's pretty good. He can sing Spanish too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thank you very
Also,
much. And
Spanish,
if
they
people
have
want to
met.
stay and talk, it's totally fine. The channel is always open. I got work tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to scram. But I'll be around in chat, and I'll check my DMs to make sure that I won't be sending anything.
Mhm.
But
All right.
thanks a lot for coming, and we broke the record. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yay. Y'all have a good rest of your Sunday.